Ladies and gents, welcome to What's Next Podcast. I'm your host, Mario Maitland. We're back again with another episode here at the University of Kentucky. Willie T, a.k.a. William T. Young Library.
Yo, Willie
We got a very, very special guest today, Mr. Nigel Marcellus. My man, I'm so excited to have you on, man. You are, I want to call, they call you Dr. Love because you just got your doctorate. Congratulations.
Appreciate it, brother.
Give you my flowers right now, but public speaker, author, content creator, event curator.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome me. I mean, you're wearing so many different hats, man. Like I said, I'm so excited to set this conversation and get this thing rolling, bro.
I appreciate it, bro. And thank you for having me. Yo, I'm a huge fan of the work that you've been doing, bro. And just to see your grind throughout the time of the podcast, from the job to even hooping in the JC.
Oh, yeah.
I see you getting buckets.
Good times.
Yeah, bro. Fire.
Is it weird just being back? I mean, Willie T's right there. And you spent a lot of hours in there grinding. Studying, hanging out with friends, doing all those things, man. How does it feel just to be back here? And you're about to leave here in a bit. How does it feel, man?
To be honest with you, it's bittersweet. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's a part of me, I'm ready for that next chapter. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like closing out this chapter. And to your point, and we were talking earlier, like, I spent many of hours in Willie T.
Yes, you did.
Studying like all-nighters, hanging with friends, supposed to be doing homework, not doing homework, socializing, everything in between. So just to be here one last time, it definitely means a lot.
I get it, man. And I always, when I graduated, I always thought, am I really going to spend a lot of time, being back on campus and everything like that? Or am I going to be one of those people who don't even come to the campus? Mm-hmm. But I find myself here, often, doing episodes, playing at the rec, whatever the case may be. It's kind of like a community that's really being built in you. So I want to ask you is like, do you think you're going to be around, to visit every now and then whenever you get a chance?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this has become like a second home to me.
For sure.
So just the opportunity to still pour into the community, pour into the people that like I've been working with. I still got a lot of mentees here, a lot of mentors here. So just knowing that this place is still a part of my story and who I am, I'll definitely be back. Like homecoming, if they need some events, they need a speaker and they want to, fly your boy out. I'll be back for all of that, for sure.
For sure, man. Well, we're going to get right into it. Y'all make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We appreciate that. We got Dr. Nigel coming on What's Next Podcast coming to you right this way. We are here right in front of Willie T. Young Library. Like I said, you spent a lot of hours in this building behind us.
Hey, man, in my undergrad and in my grad school, like, bro, they really should, like, put my banner up in there, you know what I mean? Retire my jersey, man, Willie T.
I was going to say, you've been there, you said you've been there till 3 a.m., 4 a.m. You pulled all-nighters in Willie T. Yeah. I'm not necessarily an all-nighter guy when it comes to studying. I like I told you, like, once midnight hits, my brain kind of shuts off in terms of studying.
Yeah.
But you've been in there all night, just like from 3 a.m. all the way to wake up.
Yeah, man. I'm not going to lie to us. Like, I'm a people person, too. So sometimes I go out there, and I'm supposed to be studying with friends. And then, the first, like, hour or two, we're not really studying. Yeah. And then it gets to, like, midnight. It's like, oh, this is actually due.
Facts.
The next day, or, oh, I got this exam. I actually got to lock in. So a lot of that's procrastination. I'm not going to lie.
Nah, man, I get it. And I'm excited for this setup, man. Shout out to Javen, the man behind the camera doing the work. Legendary setup we got here. I don't know if this has been our first episode outside, but I think it's been our second episode outside. But, man, I'm loving it besides the fact that I got allergies and I'm, like, really close to the grass. And I know by the time I'm done with this episode, throat's gonna be itching, sneezing.
Get you some Benadryl, bro.
You definitely need some Benadryl, man. But yeah, man, I'm excited for this one, man. I just want to catch up with you, man. I feel like I don't really get a chance to really actually have a sit-down conversation with you. I always see you all the time, whether it's on social media or it's like in the gym. We might, come across paths. But like, man, I'm excited to actually sit down, have a conversation with you, and catch up with you, man.
Yeah, likewise, bro. And honestly, again, I just want to give you your flowers for the work that you're doing because, bro, you're really great.
Appreciate that.
You're very consistent. And I think just to see your impact on not just like the people who you serve, but the Lexington community has been like really, really beautiful, especially being somebody who's not from Lexington.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's real impact, bro.
Thank you, man. No, that means a lot, especially coming from you, man, because you're the legend, not only in just UK, but, Black community in Lexington and the state of Kentucky, man. People look up to you, especially the young folks who need that guidance, man. So tip my hat off to you and what you do. But yeah, man, like let's get right into it, man. I want to kind of, take things back a little bit from the first time I actually like heard about you. I heard about you like my freshman year because you've been here for a while. Yeah, tell the people how long you've been going to UK because they don't. How long you went to the University of Kentucky?
All right, so technically it's been 10 years, but I went here for undergrad. I got here 2012, graduated 2016. Then I left to get my master's, and then I came back and basically been here for my PhD. So like altogether, about 10 years.
Everybody always jokes whether I'm talking like to whoever knows you in the UK community. It's like, man, Dr. Nigel. When I was a senior, he was there.
Yeah.
When I was a freshman, he was there. And it's like, man, Nigel actually been there forever.
Yeah, what's crazy, bro, is like when I first got here, I was 17. So I was the baby on.
So you started a little early.
So I started early. So everybody, like my freshman year, always was calling me, "Oh, he's the baby." So to see the transition of like going from that to like, "Oh, that's bro. Oh, that's unc. That's grandpa." You know what I mean? Like to see that transition is crazy. But
grandpa, who's calling you grandpa?
Yeah,
that is disrespectful.
Yeah, they be calling me that. I be getting the jokes back where
that's okay. Grandpa comes with a lot of wisdom, man. You have that. But you was talking about UK, man. How'd you even end up in UK?
So for me, I'm originally from Massachusetts. When it came to going to college, I wanted to go the furthest away from Massachusetts. I just wanted something different.
Right.
And my mom, she's originally from Kentucky.
Oh, is she really?
Compromised.
What part of Kentucky is she from?
Fleming County.
Okay, I'm not familiar.
So it's like right next to Morehead and that.
Oh, really? Wow. My brother went to Morehead State.
My mom went to Morehead State.
Oh my God. Y'all see that? Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah. So what ended up happening was the compromise that I had with my mom and my dad was the furthest I could go where they felt comfortable was Kentucky. So that's kind of how I.
Yeah, because you got some connection there. Well, your mom went to Morehead State, so I could definitely see that. What made you fall in love with UK though? I don't know if you were like me, because when I started, back in high school, I kind of had this similar path. I wanted to get away a little bit, didn't want to stay in Florida. And Kentucky was a place where I had connections as well. My brother played at Morehead State at the time. And I was somebody who was a huge UK fan, UK basketball fan. And I was like, might as well go to UK. My brother's down the road at Morehead State. I might as well do that. So that's kind of how I got in the thick of things. And one thing that really made me like really fall in love with UK was the dorms. Like I kid you not, this is a real true story. I never actually like took a visit to the University of Kentucky.
Oh, wow.
Like okay. I never saw it or anything like that, but I saw the dorms and I was like, hey, I'm a UK fan. That's enough. And then the dorms is just a tipping on the ice.
This is what's going to age me. Which dorms are you talking about? Because when I was there, the dorms was different. So which era of UK are you talking about?
See how old he is? Y'all see how old he is? Nah, it's the dorms, the new ones, the ones that we got right now. So like the ones in Boyd Hall and the modern 2-bedroom kind of, you share the kitchen space, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Dang, bro. Those aren't even like the best dorms. Like, y'all spoiled, man. I'm not even gonna get into it, but y'all spoiled with them dorms.
We're spoiled? What's the best dorms at UK that
to be honest with you, the best dorms were the ones where you go into the room and you couldn't escape your roommate. Like you saw it.
Oh, yeah.
Because that creates a community kind of experience. Because if you like your roommate, you might stay in your room and you really connect with them.
I like my privacy, though. Like I like
which is valid. The privacy is a good part. But the only problem with that element is like a lot of people are now using that as an excuse to not leave their room.
That's true. That's true.
Because in order to like really connect with people, you got to get out of that room.
I definitely agree with you because I've had a lot of roommates in my time during UK, and then there's only, I would say, less than half of them that I'm really close with. I've had a lot of roommates that I barely like even talk to because they never got out their room.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
And then like my freshman year, it was those rooms where it's like my roommate was cool, but we weren't that cool, so I was out of my room. Back then, we used to know everybody on our floor, our neighbors, the people above us, on the floor below us, and everything. We had that like real community aspect because people had to get out of their rooms.
Nah, for sure.
Now people could like go in their room and then go within their room into their room.
It's a lot of extra layers you got to go through.
So y'all don't even know what y'all got, man.
Yeah, it's not.
To answer your question, I think what kept me here and what I fell in love with was the people. Because I initially didn't like UK when I first got here. I'm ready to transfer, and I already had like my application all the way written out.
Why did you want to try to transfer?
I think like when I first got here, I had this expectation that college was supposed to be this grand experience.
Yeah.
And I kept on waiting for college to be good. What I saw, what I thought, what people were telling me about. And it wasn't until I like went out there and made college my experience, that's when it became a real beautiful place and I enjoyed it. But it took people doing something for me that I never imagined anyone would do for me to see like, oh man, I really got some real people down here with me.
That's love. And that goes to what we were saying. Like, if you were locked up in your room, not really willing to make it work for you, you know, go out there, meet people and go to events, etc. Find your community at UK or any college in general. That's on you. Right. That's completely on you, man. You're now a doctor, which is amazing, man.
I appreciate it, bro.
You just did your commencement. You were part of the UK graduation. You did a commencement speech. Was that Friday, Saturday, or was it just one day? How did that work?
That was Friday. My graduation was at 6 p.m. So I did the commencement speech for the 6 p.m. graduation.
Cool.
Rupp was packed.
What's your nerves like at that moment?
I was
nervous.
I was more anxious than nervous. I think like once I get into a mindset of like public speaking, it's not the fear of doing it. It's the fear of starting.
Yeah, we were just talking about
the anticipation of it. It's like, oh man, like, I don't know. Am I going to start? Am I going to get the energy? Like, but like the minute I stepped on stage, like the energy was there. The people were like already cheering crazy. Shout out to all my peoples, man. I love y'all. And yeah, I bodied it. I was ready for that moment.
I love that, man. So much support. That's one thing that I'm like, man, Nigel always has a strong supporting cast and they love him. And I think it comes out of authenticity. People love that you're so authentic and down to earth and real. So I respect that about you, man. But I got to ask you, man, like what you got your doctorate in Black love. Explain to the people, like, what exactly is Black love? Like, if you had to explain it in your words.
Yeah, no, that's a really great question. So the way I would explain Black love is it's a relationship dynamic between two Black individuals that's rooted in the cultural and historical context of understanding self and each other. So it's basically like when you're in a Black relationship, the beauty of it is that your partner is somebody who fully understands the experience and which comes with the Black experience in the United States and the world.
What does that mean so much to you? Because I'm in an interracial relationship, so it's a little bit different for me. But I want to ask you, like, from your perspective, what's your mindset in terms of like why it's so important for you to, you know, experience to have that Black love for everyone else out there?
Yeah, I think one reason why it's important to me is because it was mirrored to me like my whole life. So my parents,
what you saw.
It's what I saw. My parents are celebrating 42 years of marriage this year. So like I've always seen that as an example. But I've also seen and been exposed to relationship dynamics that weren't always as healthy too.
Oh, wow.
And I think the more that I kind of try to make sense of relationships and my understanding of like how people navigate it, and then also like conversations I've had with different Black women about their experiences with Black men and how
right.
I kind of wanted to have a deeper understanding of like how are Black men and Black women navigating love, because it can be so complex when you add all the different factors of what we go through in the U.S. and then what we go through as individuals and the media portrayals and everything in between.
I love that, man. I want to ask you the thing that first time I ever really noticed you was through these events on campus, right?
Mm-hmm.
We just talked about how important it is just to like to get out there, you know, and find your community. And this can be in college or outside of college. It helps to be out there and, you know, find yourself within a strong community. And you're somebody who pushes community, pushes events, pushes people to have a space to talk, like how me and you are sitting down here and doing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you, first time I met you, I believe it wasn't on social media. I'm trying to think. It definitely wasn't on social media. It was an event. I believe it was like a paintball event, something like that. And I think you were there and you were with some friends. And the more and more I got out to these events, I heard more and more about Nigel. Nigel. So I have to ask you, man, like, why is it so important for you to make sure that people have a space, have a community, have something that they can look forward to while they're on campus?
Yeah.
Or in general, you're doing so many different things. Like, why is that important to you?
I think it's important because I've experienced a deep sense of loneliness throughout my childhood. And with having that experience of like feeling like you're unheard or you're unseen and you don't have people that are like value you or care about you or look forward to seeing you, it put me in a really dark place, right? And the way in which I got out of that was really by leaning onto my village and leaning into my community. And I've always realized, especially like when I was here my freshman year, it was like, the minute I opened myself up to other people and really the love that was already around me, that's when my experience at University of Kentucky like absolutely transformed. Mm-hmm. So I know that now, especially like we were talking about the dorms, like you got a lot of people who are hiding in their rooms because they're not being honest with themselves, or they don't even recognize how much they're scared of like branching out. And it's a lot of like, and it's scary, right? So I think being able to host events and create these spaces is a way for me to like let people know, like, it's okay for one to be struggling and not really having a full understanding of how to navigate this, but you are seen and you are heard, and like you can show up here, and I'm going to try my best to help you not only find your place there, but turn this place into a home.
I love that your events are like, it's not about you, it's about the people, but not only it's about the people, it's that you're creating a positive impact on the people. Whether I remember, for instance, I'm getting ready to go down home for Thanksgiving, and some of my friends, they stay here for campus because they live so far. They don't have the means to go back, back and forth with 2 trips in less than 2 weeks. You got Christmas, you got Thanksgiving. It makes sense for them just to stay here. And for me, I went back home. But for some of my friends, they stayed here, and you're the one to actually like come up with this brilliant idea to create this Thanksgiving dinner with not only just like regular people, people of your friends and everything like that. You invited anybody on campus, and you said they can come and come eat. We're a community. We're gonna have fun. It's gonna be. I'm cooking everything. You cooked literally everything. Man, I just thought that was so dope for you to do that.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Honestly, that's like one of the greatest honors I've had here on campus, is just being able to provide that Thanksgiving space. Because again, like I come from like a really big family, and my family typically gets together for Thanksgiving. And that's a privilege that I didn't recognize until a year where I wasn't able to go home for Thanksgiving. Yeah. And I could have went with family, but when I saw all the people on campus who didn't really have a place, and I'm not just talking about just students too, like staff, faculty, people who I met at Kroger and different places. Like when I find out like you don't have a place to go, it just felt the call into like, you know what, guys, I'll host it. I'll make it work. And then I want you guys to have a good time. Don't worry about paying. Don't worry about bringing food. Don't worry about anything. Just come for the vibe, so you don't have to be alone on that day. If you
That's so dope. As it should be. So that's what Thanksgiving is all about. So like, man, like you got it all right, all figured out, man. Another thing I want to talk to you about is your content. You're a content creator. You're putting thing out. You're putting plenty of information and valuable content on social media, and I love it. Because thing about social media, Nigel, is that I don't want to say we're getting oversaturated, but like there's so many people putting out. We have so many different content creators and so many different niches. But the one thing I really like about yours, Nigel, is that you're really strong on creating meaningful content. You're really strong on that. And I want to ask you, like, what does that mean for you? For me, like I want to put out meaningful content because that's what I'm passionate about. I want people to feel when they watch my content. You know what I mean? That's the goal for me. So like what's behind it for you in terms of creating such meaningful content?
Yeah, for sure. First and foremost, you said you want to create meaningful content, but I just want to correct you. You do.
Oh, appreciate that.
Like, even like the level of intentionality of like, for the people who don't know, like when I got here, the level of intentionality of like making sure I feel comfortable, the setup, like talking to me and making sure like, hey, I want you to know, like, I want this to be different. I want this to feel like not everybody puts that level of attention.
You have to, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, you do make meaningful content. But to answer your question, I think for me, when it comes to like the content that I make, it really comes down to, again, like I want people to be able to watch what I do and not only just feel, but like learn ways of how they can navigate their own experiences, because life is not easy. Life can be very challenging. It can be very difficult. And it's crazy how many people are dealing with these silent battles that they don't even speak of. So if I could put something, whether it's on my story, whether it's on my page, that kind of exposes like how people are healing or different ways in which you can grow and learn or navigate relationships or navigate the relationship with yourself, that helps people at least feel a little bit more empowered and encouraged to be able to do better in their day-to-day life. So I
love that. Yeah. I love that, man. We got to move on to our first segment. It's something that, we're pushing for. We definitely want to make it, be truly a part of the show, man. So segment is called Talk Me Through It. I'm going to show you a few images. You're going to tell me what exactly was going through your mind at this time. Okay. First image is very, very, very inspirational. It is this image. You guys can see it on the camera on your screens right now. Talk me through it, man. What we got going on here?
Yeah, so I was at the College of Communication, they reached out to me because they were having like an advisory meeting, and they wanted me to kind of talk about my experience as a student, but also the children's book that I wrote.
Right.
So I was in I was in a room full of a lot of different just people who make important decisions
Right.
for the college. You know what I mean? And just really just giving them my story of like how I created the book, the struggles of trying to get it published, the kind of reception I've been receiving from it, and just overall the journey of making a children's book.
The endless possibilities with Nora and Vincent. How long did it take you to create this, to write this book, man?
Oh, man, from the writing all the way to get it published, it took me about 7 years.
7 years. Wow. Oh, that's a very long time. Is that usually how long it takes?
It is not. So like I never published a book before. I didn't know anybody who published a book before. So a lot of that process it didn't take me that long to write, because when I was inspired, it was like quick to write. When I found an editor, it was quick. But when I was trying to get it published, I came across a lot of different publishers who were basically saying like, yo, the children's book industry is a dying industry. You're not going to make money. Somebody told me specifically, you're not going to sell more than 50 books. It's not going to be successful. So like constantly going through trials and tribulations of people telling you like what you believe in and what matters to you doesn't work, it kind of made me lose my confidence and my products and what I wanted to do. So a lot of that in between time was me like trying to build my confidence and then losing again and then trying to build it up, and then finally getting to a point where it's like, nah, if y'all not going to publish it, I'll find a way myself.
I feel like, well, obviously confidence is a very important thing. What was there anybody during that process where you were like, did you have a strong support system that motivated you to tap back into it when they're telling you like, no, this is not going to sell a lot of copies?
Yeah, 1000%. First and foremost, I got to shout out my illustrator, because the illustrator, Brian, bro, love. When I got to a point where I was like, bro, I'm cool. I'm cool off it. I want to say like a month or two later, he texted me and was like, yo, can you send me your address? And he sent me a sample published of the book, a sample copy of the published book. And that kind of reignited it. But also the biggest person I have to shout out is my mom. During that in-between time, I can't tell you how many times my mom was like, we be just randomly chilling. She'd be like, hey, what about that children's book?
Hey,
still going to get published?
Yeah.
I'll be like at the gym. She'll call me randomly mid-workout. Like, hey, I just wanted, did you get that children's book published yet? Are you still working on it? So between them and then also like the community of friends that I have, I definitely had a lot of people pushing me to do it.
I love that story, man. Shout out to your moms. Talk me through it. We got our second image here. What we got going on? I see UGB in the background though, so I know something's very important. And I actually recognize that's an anchor.
Yeah.
So walk me through this. Talk me through this one.
Nah, you was digging in the archive for that one. That's the throwback, bro. That was the first time I did like a TV appearance, and it was for, I forget the channel, I'm not gonna lie, my fault, yo. I love y'all though. But for a TV channel, you know what I mean? And that was like really cool because they wanted me to talk about starting UGP.
Man, shout out UGP, man.
UGP here on campus, and kind of just my experience of like navigating student organizations and like what does community mean to me and everything in between. But that was the first time I was on TV, and bro, I was gassed.
You nervous?
Yes. Nah, bro. I was so excited.
Oh, really?
I remember like I was in the car driving with my homeboy, bro. Shout out to Nas Vert. I see you, boy. Yo, we was like for real prepping. Like he was asking me questions. I was like, yeah, bro.
Oh, so he was like giving you the practice questions. And,
yeah. So by the time I got to that interview,
it was nothing.
Oh, killed it.
That's how you do it, man. I usually do that with myself. I'm like, I'm gonna get myself practice. At least you had somebody. That's cool, man. Yeah. I love that, man. Talk me through it. What we got here? We got speak the truth, even if your voice shakes.
Yeah. So fun fact, I actually used to have incredible fear of public speaking. And what ended up happening was I recognized that with my dreams and my aspirations and my goals, I could not allow myself to sit in my fear of public speaking. And when I first started, like I really had a bad like shake. I would shake, my voice would shake, I would like lose thoughts, lose my words, and like that used to be all the reasons why I'd be like, nah, I'm not gonna do this. But when I saw that post one time, a friend sent it to me. I was like, yo, that's real.
Man,
You gotta speak your truth, even if your voice shakes. And the more that you speak your truth, the less your voice will start to shake.
I feel like you get more confident, just by doing that, being comfortable in your own skin, man.
100%.
So I love that, man. We got our last image of the segment. My favorite talk me through it image. I love this because you put this out so many times, and I think I've seen you put this out on Twitter a few different times in different ways. But I love it because it's just an art, a true realization of manifestation. And I don't know if you can see that, but
oh yeah, man,
I love that,
man. So what ended up happening when I graduated, I had a conversation with my mentor, and she was like, "Yo, you should write down some of the goals that you want for your life." And at that time, I didn't even know like really what a PhD entailed. I didn't know what like a master's degree entailed. I didn't know none of that stuff. But I knew that I wanted to be a person to inspire. I knew I wanted to be a loving father and husband. I knew that I wanted to be somebody who had a major impact on the world. And I had aspirations to be like a talk show host, a media conglomerate, everything in between. So those are things that have been always consistent in my life. And I'm actually like, even just looking at that, I'm proud of the younger me who at the time wasn't all the way confident and didn't all the way believe that he was able to do it, but who had a direction and continuously worked towards that direction relentlessly. So
that's a true element of manifestation right there. And, it's not done all the way. There's a few goals that you still want to acquire, but you're halfway there, almost halfway there, man. I'm going to put you on the spot, man, because that's what we do here at What's Next podcast, man. You're going to look into your camera. You're going to manifest the next year for yourself, man. You got 60 seconds to do it. What's your manifestation for the next year?
Okay, so for the next year, I'm going to go full-time in content creation, and that is going to open up so many different doors for me. I'm going to become a household name. I'm going to be doing different speaking tours for schools, conferences, and everything in between. And most importantly, man, I'm going to live a fulfilling life that makes me happy. I'm going to love on my people, and I love it. Treat myself better.
I love it, man. I love it. Manifestations are very powerful. I love to see that, man. Moving on to our next segment. This is a new segment, man. I'm a fan of it. I think Javen's gonna like this one too. This one is really cool. It's called overrated or underrated. All right. So I'm gonna list a few things and we just gonna chop it up, man. Overrated or underrated Instagram lives?
Oh, underrated.
I say overrated.
Underrated. Why?
It's not. Actually, I feel like, in the public eye, a lot of personalities has been messing around with the Instagram lives that haven't really been panning out for those people. So I'm going to say overrated. Stay away from the Instagram lives. Nothing really good happened with the Instagram lives, man. Moving on. Rest days, overrated or underrated?
Oh, underrated.
Underrated. I agree with you, man. Definitely need the rest.
You need a rest.
You
rest
need
is
that.
Revolutionary.
Overrated or underrated posting your partner online?
Oh, underrated, man. Underrated. Sorry, y'all. I'm loving.
I say overrated. We going opposite spectrums right now, man. I'm gonna say overrated on that one.
But I think it depends on the terms of y'all relationship. So like, It depends on that more than anything. But I think that like, if you love somebody, why not show them?
I get that 100%. You should definitely show your partner off, and I 100% agree. But part of me is like, hey, man, my relationship is my relationship. I don't want to, everybody to see what I got going on in terms of, I like to keep it private. That's just what I believe, Yeah. I don't want to show it to show off to people in terms, but I get what you're saying in terms of.
I think more natural, right? Like if you're out to dinner,
more natural,
you know what I mean? And it's like something where they just happen to be in the picture. Like, I'm not mad at that. There's people who
100%.
Like, I'm going to post their elbow. Like, bro, come on now. Like, come on.
I agree with you. Well, yeah, it's definitely got to be natural. Overrated or underrated long distance relationships?
Ooh. Right now, I gotta stay consistent. Overrated.
Overrated for sure.
I gotta say overrated.
I feel like that's tough.
That's tough.
Yeah,
that's tough. We gotta be really locked in order for that to happen.
I agree with you on that. I don't feel like there's much of a debate on that. Overrated or underrated saying no?
Ooh. Dang.
I would say then I'm gonna go with underrated on that one.
I'm gonna say underrated too. Yeah. It's important to say no. You gotta know your boundaries, and a lot of times people don't know their boundaries. So they say yes to a lot of things that they know that they don't have the capacity for.
100%. 100%. Overrated or underrated putting your phone on D&D.
Oh, I'm a D&D warrior. Underrated. And I need for all the people who be mad at D&D warriors, I need y'all to understand. Why are you mad at me? Because I don't want to be disturbed. I'm protecting my peace. What's wrong with y'all?
D&D warrior, is that what it's called?
Yeah, bro, I'm a D&D warrior, bro. My phone on D&D right now.
Right now. I don't blame you, bro. I really don't blame you. Let's go overrated or underrated paid blue check marks on social media. This one's a debate. The Javen saying that he's going overrated on this one. I'm going overrated. I'm going overrated just because I do get it from a perspective of business. I know some people, like, especially in the videography business, they use it, blue checks. But
I'm with
I don't know. I'm all about earning it.
Overrated. Yeah, I think you gotta earn it. I think a lot of people are paying for it.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I'll go up to somebody's page and I'll look at the blue check and I'll look at the work, and the work is not consistent with the blue check, and I'll be wondering how you got the blue check. So overrated, because we place a lot too much value on the check and not on the content.
Exactly. Hey, speak to them, man. Speak to them. Overrated or underrated? Let's see. Relationship goals. I feel like that's underrated. I think
Underrated.
I think a relationship should have goals, but I'm gonna go both sides on this. I don't think you should. I don't like when people be like, "Hey, that's goals." They goals. Like, don't look at other people's relationship and compare it to your relationship. That's kind of my thing.
I like that. I think from where I would always like tell people is that, like, you have to have some type of direction, some type of guidelines of what to look forward to, but you cannot try to emulate and copy because your relationship's going to be
perfect.
Different.
That's perfect. You explained it perfectly, man. Overrated or underrated? Listening to TED Talks. I'm going underrated on this one.
Underrated. Go watch my TED Talk.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a nice little plug there, man.
Go watch my TED Talk.
Yeah,
man.
TED Talks. I feel like heavily underrated. You don't necessarily like. I feel like it needs to be pushed more. I feel like podcasts is more like of the thing. Everybody, whether you're multitasking, wherever the case may be, you want to listen to a podcast, but you can listen to a TED Talk too. I feel like that's along the same lines.
And then shout out to books too, man. TED Talks, books, podcasts, any way of, like, gaining knowledge. I'm always gonna be a fan. So
last one, man. Overrated or underrated? Overnight success. Ooh,
overnight success. That's definitely overrated.
Overrated for sure.
Definitely overrated.
I think the journey's the more important thing about it. Going through the journey. I like the journey is just as good as the achievement, the goal in the end mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly.
Let's move on, man. Let's close this thing out. But I do have a few quick questions just to end it out. Your work, whether you're an author, whether you're writing books, or whether the case may be you're an author, whether you're creating events, whether you're doing TED Talks, man, you clearly have a message, that's deep down that you want to put out. If the people, say the people who haven't heard your message as of yet, what do you want the people to take away from your content creation, from your TED Talks, your public speaking, from, words from yourself, your content creation? What do you want them to take away?
Yeah, absolutely. I got 2 tattoos and they really just guide my whole life. One says "Go where you're loved," and the other one says "You are worthy now." And I think those are the 2 messages that I want people to really, like, pay attention to. Is that you are more than enough. You are deserving. You are worthy. You are great. You're incredible. You're needed and necessary. And go places where you're celebrated. Go to the places that you're loved, because those are going to be the areas where you're going to have your wholeness filled.
So, like, what I've been noticing, and I kind of think I knew this already about you, is that you kind of put yourself last, when it comes to everything that you do. It's all about bettering the people, giving people, the right space, and, giving them a platform to tell their stories and, share advice and wisdom that you come across. I want to ask you, like, how do you find your peace, though? Like, what's what's in it for you in terms of everything that you put out? Like, what about Nigel? Like, is this something that you just love to do, or like, how do you find your peace in all the things that you do?
I'll be honest with you. I think, like, speaking of, like, what's next, I think that's what I'm learning to be next for me. It's like to really figure out what is my peace and what are those moments and where am I loved, and, like, how do I honor that and sit in that and accept that? Because I think that's where a lot of times I struggle with, because I spend so much time creating space for other people to feel comfortable.
Right.
Feel comfortable.
Exactly.
100%. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I get that, man. But speaking of that, is there a place or a thing where you feel I know for me, like, when I go to play basketball at the rec, that's when I feel my most free.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, I know you like to work out and you do your content working out, but like what's a place or something that you like to do that makes you feel the most free?
I would say like 1000%, going to the gym, spending time with like loved ones, family, friends. And then Black women have always been a safe space for me. And I hope that I create that space for them. But just being around people who are willing to listen and willing to, show up for me in ways in which I don't always feel like I'm deserving of it from all the people in my life.
Yeah.
Like that's always been safety for me.
I love that, man. What do you like you have so many achievements and how old are you now, Nigel? That's the question. That's the best question I asked all day.
Yeah, I'm 30.
30 years old. What are you like most proud of? I know you're still early. Like I'm 25, so I don't even try to even think of this, because we're living. We're still so very young. But like, what are you most proud of in your career so far?
I would say
PhD.
No, I think the thing that I'm most proud of is that I still have a very open and considerate and loving heart.
Oh, wow.
And that I still like open up the door for creating spaces for other people. Because I've definitely had experiences where I could have turned the opposite way. Like I could have let it shape me and make me a mean person and spiteful and everything. But the fact that I took all the pain and I opened it up and like became a lot more loving and created so many spaces for other people to feel seen and heard and everything in between. Like I think that's what makes me proud.
You know what I'm going to ask you, man, because we're on What's Next podcast. We got to close this thing out. And it's one of the more, I thought, we've interviewed a lot of people on this show, but I think this is you were the perfect guest for your time in your career because, you just did you got your PhD at the University of Kentucky. And now it's like, everybody's going to be asking that same question. What's next? You're on What's Next podcast. So like lay it to us, man. What do you got planned? What do you have planned for the future? And what's next for you in your journey?
Yeah, I would say what's next for me is to learn how to say yes to a lot more opportunities and experiences in life because I've been so locked into like school and building a career that I've never been able to feel like I've lived a fulfilling life.
Yeah.
So what's next for me is to learn how to live a fulfilling life that makes me feel as if, I'm completely proud of myself and it's for me.
I love that, man. Hey, man, close us out, man. Nigel Marcellus, give your best advice for the people leaving today, man, and leave us out on a good note.
Yeah, for sure. I would say to anybody who's listening, no matter what you're going through, you deserve love at every level. You are enough. And I just hope that you understand and that you know that no matter what you want out of life, you 1000% can make it happen for yourself.
Drop your socials, man, so the people know, where they can follow you and follow your journey in the content creation as well.
For sure. You can follow me on all platforms at Nigel Marcellus, Nigel Marcellus. And yeah, just know, man, I'm coming for that #1 spot. I'm coming to change the world, impact lives, and really encourage people to have healthier relationships with themselves and others. So yeah, bro, I appreciate you for having me on here.
Man, it's been a blast. Enjoyed the conversation, man. Wish we could have done this a little bit longer, but I like the time frame that we had, and I thought we had a great conversation, man.
Yeah, likewise.
Pretty dope. Ladies and gents, hit that like and subscribe button. Give a follow to Nigel on all his social media platforms. We'll be back again with another great episode of What's Next podcast. We out.
Peace.